Aloha, beautiful people. Happy Friday. I know yesterday's video was hella long, so I'm going to try not to do that today. But I just wanted to come back today because, I don't know, yesterday was hella long video, and then at the end I got all discombobulated because neighbor was supposed to come over and we were going to play cards, and neighbor decides to come early, so had they come at the appropriate time, I probably would have been done with my video and what have you. But they showed up early and got me all shook up, distracted. So I went ahead and ended the video, which is fine because it was hella long, so probably needed to end. But let's get to the numbers real quick before I start babbling again. So I had a little whoosh this morning. Yesterday I've been stuck at 184.4 basically for a few days. So this morning I woke up at 181.4. So had a nice little 3-pound whoosh. Of course I'm happy about that to get off that 184.4. Yeah, so, and as you can see by the keto stick, my ketones increased. Stick got darker, which is a nice, great, wonderful thing. And a nice surprise because I did refeed yesterday and I had 2 bananas. So the bananas didn't seem to affect anything because the keto stick got darker. So more good news. Alright, so now that that's out of the way, I think when I ended my video yesterday, I was talking about wanting to, change things up, spice things up, whatever you want to call it, on my channel, my videos and stuff. So I'll be thinking on that, like what all I want to do. I'll show the route I take on my walks, and I'm still kind of wishy-washy about showing food on a channel where we're all trying to lose weight and fast and all that, but we're all grown-ass adults. I think we can handle it, and it's not like it's going to be every day that I'm going to show what I eat every day, because I don't eat every day. So a couple of times a week I may just quickly show my refeeds, which just because, just to kind of mix things up a little bit. It's not going to be anything interesting because, as I said, I don't eat anything interesting. I try to keep it simple. Lately here I've been, I cooked that big gas turkey, so now I got a lot of turkey in the freezer. So that's why I've been eating a lot of turkey and a piece of fruit. I'm not going to keep, the turkey's fine and everything, but I know me, if I eat it too many times in a row, I'll get sick of it and not want to eat it no more. So I'm going to try to switch it up. Like, my next refeed is Sunday. Sunday? Yeah, Sunday. So I'm probably going to have beef on a Sunday. Beef or chicken. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, so, I can show what my refeeds are and the process of refeeding. And just different stuff. Kind of kick it up a notch, spice it up a little bit. So, what I wanted to talk about today was, I talk a lot on my channel about, food addictions and eating with your emotions, because that's what I do. I'm a food addict, and I'm always eating with my emotions. And I'm an emotional, kind of, sorta, but because I'm an emotional eater, like, I don't, like, when my emotions get into action, I don't go smoke a joint or drink a beer, or, you know what I'm saying? I go to food. That's the first thing I want to do if I'm feeling a certain way. I want to make myself feel better with food, junk food. So, and every human being on the face of the earth has issues and, things that happen and make them feel a certain way and kick their emotions into overdrive and all that. Everybody does. It's just part of life, right? So, and now that I'm doing this, it's a struggle every time something happens. I'm trying to find a different way of working through that instead of running to the kitchen and, trying to eat my emotions, so to speak. Which the exercises, I guess, helps with that. Different outlet for my emotions, because I almost said I'm an emotional person, but I'm really not an emotional person. I'm not overly emotional. I'm not overly, I'm not a dramatic person, but just depending on what the situation is, if it's something major, I can be emotional if it's something major. So I said all of that because, again, something happened yesterday. Now, mind you, those of you that have been watching my videos, you know about the situation that happened last month with that scam call I got, and they were saying they had my son and they were going to kill him if I didn't give him $5,000, all that. Y'all know about that if you watch my videos. So ever since then, I'm hypersensitive emotionally, and I notice I'm letting things get to me more emotionally now because I went through that. So I don't know if I have some kind of PSTD or something. I don't know, but what I'm getting at is there was another situation yesterday. One of my neighbors here where I live, it's a man and wife. And when I moved here a year ago, there were a few people that were instrumental in making sure that I felt comfortable and at home when I moved here, welcomed. They made sure I met everybody, and so that I would feel at home. And this couple were very instrumental, they grew up in this area out here in the country, so very country, very kind, caring Christian couple. And again, I'm in a seniors community, so older couple, way older than me, like in their late 70s, I believe they were. So, like when I first moved here, they took one of the ladies that lives here that, again, took me under her wing and like make sure I knew everything and knew everybody. And they took her and me out to lunch, and very sweet couple. So, a couple of months ago, I honestly don't. I'm losing all track of time or something because it's been months. It's been maybe 4 months. Honestly, I don't remember, but it's not been more than probably 6 months. One of their sons passed unexpectedly. He had a health issue, but it was kind of a big shock because I think he had just been to their apartment to hang out and have dinner and chit chat and hang out, and then I think he left there, and I think that same night he passed. He had, I don't remember, I think it was something to do with his heart or something. He had an issue. And that issue got the best of him that night after he left their apartment, and he passed. So they were going through that. I talked a lot with his wife. Like, they used to always show up at the weekly ice cream social. They didn't participate in a lot of things around here, but they almost always went to the ice cream social. And so that's where we always got to see them and hang out and joke around. And he was always very supportive and amazed at the journey I'm on with the whole walking and losing weight and whatnot. So he was very supportive of that and always amazed and that what I do, and he wished he could do it, the walking in the morning and whatnot. But just a good couple, good people. And so after the son passed, I noticed they stopped coming to ice cream social. I get it, I get it. Especially after me going through that scam, that phone call scam, so I can imagine now. Now, if somebody says my kid passed, died, got killed in a car accident or whatever, I can actually feel their pain. Because although mine was a scam for those 20 minutes or so, I felt that pain, of what that's like. Because for 20 minutes, I thought it was real. So I know the pain. And then when it's real, mine wasn't real. Theirs was real. So their pain is like, I can't even compare my pain to their pain, because what I felt was painful. But when it's real, it's probably 100,000 times worse, So then I knew they were going through that. I hardly ever saw him anymore. I would see her occasionally and we would talk. She came to my apartment one time and she was like wanting me to help her put together some committee around here to start organizing functions and whatnot, to kind of like get people out of their apartments and do things and whatever. And, I was in agreement with that. But every single time we got together, she would talk for a few minutes, but then she always ended things with, I gotta go. Charles isn't feeling good. I gotta get back over there. Charles isn't feeling good. And I'm not really a nosy type of person. Like, I don't know. I know there's a fine line between being nosy and intrusive and just being a inquisitive, caring friend, right? Like, so I struggle with that, knowing I want to ask this. I want to, I wanted to ask her, like, well, what's wrong with him, because she never said anything like he's sick, or she never elaborated. She just always, I got to go, Charles isn't feeling good. I need to get back over to the apartment. And then I just never questioned her what she meant by that. So, so then yesterday, I get a call from one of my other neighbors, and she's asking me, do you know about all the commotion downstairs? I'm like, no, I'm up here playing cards with Bob. I don't know what you're talking about. And she's like, oh, well, there's a big commotion downstairs over in building 3, and I just wanted to let you know about it. And I'm like, okay, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? She's like, I know you're, I don't remember the verbiage she used. It wasn't close. I know you're close, because me and that couple, I loved them. They were wonderful people, but we weren't close. We didn't like hang out all the time and all that, we were just very friendly. And when I did see them, there was always hugs and whatnot and kisses on the cheek, and I loved them. You don't come across truly, genuinely good people a lot in life. So when I do find them, like I love them. And she's telling me, she's like, well, I know you're familiar and friendly with Charles and Carol. I'm like, yeah. And she says, so I just wanted you to know that something happened over there. He passed. So, at first I'm trying to make, he passed. Okay, was he sick? Did he pass? And she's like, well, we don't really know too much yet. But it doesn't look good because there's a bunch of cops over there. There's the medical examiner. There's crime scene. They've got it taped off. And I'm like, what the? Why? Why would they do that if he, because I'm thinking he just passed, like she kept saying he's not feeling well. Maybe he was sick, and I never asked her, so maybe that's what it was. Maybe he had fallen sick and she never volunteered information. And that's what it was, that he was sick and that he passed, right? So I'm like, well, why are they doing all that? Did he because he passed? Why would they do all that? She's like, well, that's the thing. We don't know. But some people are saying that it was possibly suicide. I'm like, what? I mean, it just didn't make no sense. Not, one part it didn't make no sense because, again, they were very sweet, kind, Christian couple. So I'm like, no, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that. But then the other part of me is like, well, I still don't know what's wrong with him. Was he super sick and was like, I can't take this no more? Or was, when she says he's not feeling well, was he going through it because of the death of his son and just was having a hard time coping with it? And that's why he did what he did? I don't know. So I get that news yesterday. So again, my mind was like, what the fuck is going on? What happened? And I mean, really, I don't have, here I sit today and I really don't have any other answers other than, because it was speculation that it was suicide. And now we know it was suicide. And for sure. And, so that it's just blowing my mind. And, and we may never know because we just may never know what happened or why he chose to do that. I mean, I always think, that's just not the way, especially in that situation. I mean, it's never the answer. Suicide is never the answer, but especially in that situation, because for sake of argument, if he did it because he was struggling with the death of his son, that does piss me off a little bit because that's so selfish. She's suffering too. She was suffering too. But trying to deal with it the best way she could and trying to, use her faith to help her get through it. But she was, of course, that was her son. So I know they were both going through it. So I'm hoping that wasn't the reason, because that would have been super selfish to say, oh, I can't, I'm really messed up from that, so I can't take it no more. So I'm going to take my own life and now leave my wife, who's mourning the death of our son, and she now has to mourn his death, and not only his death, but the fact that he killed himself. So it's a hard situation. And like I say, I'm 99.9% sure she's not going to come back to that apartment. Of course, I doubt she'll even come back here. I'm pretty sure, and I do hope that, she'll stay with one of her kids, move in with them. She's going to need a lot of support. I'm going to pray every day that she makes it through this. But it's going to be a tough, hard road for her. And you know, because I'm pretty sure she's not going to come back here. So it's kind of, I would love to be there for her, but I don't think, and I don't think I'll be able to, even be like, I'm here for you, because she's not going to come back here. There's just no way. Do I have her phone number? Yes, I do. And I just don't know the appropriate thing to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as, should I call? Should I not call? If I'm going to call, how long should I wait before I call? If they're going to have any services or whatever, I'm sure family members will let the complex know, because they know there was a lot of people here that love those two people, and that they would want to pay their respects. So that's my hope, is that does happen, and that I'm able to go to the services and then see her then, and at that point let her know, listen, you have my phone number, if you need anything, you need me, you just want to talk, you want to come over and hang out, anything, just, you got my number, call me. So that's my story. And it drug me down. It seems like a lot of the people I've met since I've moved here have passed. And it just seems that way, because obviously I'm sure other people have passed. There's a lot of seniors. It's a senior complex, so, and a lot of them are way older than me, so it happens, You get old, you pass. And so I'm sure other people have passed, and I don't know about it, because if you're not in my life, of course I'm not going to know everybody that passes. But I just know that the group that took me under their wing, with his passing, that would make 3 of the original group that took me under their wing when I moved here. 3 have passed. I don't know. It's hard. But, yeah, and it just showed in my walk this morning. Like, I really didn't want to walk. Like, I just felt, I got out of bed, got up, walked over to the light switch, flipped the lights on, and as soon as the light flipped on, immediately my brain was like, oh my God, Charles committed suicide yesterday. Like, that was my first thought when the lights popped on. And then I couldn't get it out. I really didn't want to walk, but I forced myself, because I was like, no, he was really proud of you for doing what you're doing. Get your ass out there, do it. And, do it for him, even though you're not feeling it, just do it. So I did. My ass drugged through that whole walk. I haven't been that miserable walking in a long time. Because, and like, me, I think the whole time I'm walking, and that's all I could think of. And I kept telling myself, okay, you're halfway through your walk, and that's all you thought about. Change gears. Try to think of something positive, but I couldn't. I couldn't switch gears up here. And so I drugged through that whole walk. I didn't have no energy. So it was partly that, and then it's like a cloudy, icky day today, so the humidity was sky high, so that didn't help, that it was so thick and humid and muggy outside, so that might have been sucking some energy out of me too. Just not a good walk, but I got it done. And it was a gym day, but I just was like, no, fuck it. I got my walk done, and it was a tough walk, and I grit my teeth through that whole walk. And, yeah, I'm not going to a gym. So I allowed myself to skip gym today. And, Fridays are coffee social. So, although I don't drink coffee, I went down to the coffee social because I knew people would be down there. you know, because of the situation yesterday, I was hoping there wouldn't be a bunch of people down there like, you know, but I knew they would be people down there just to be supportive of each other because everybody loved him, Charles, and I knew they would just want to gather, not to talk about it or, you know, gossip about it or whatever, but just to be together. And so I went down there and sat around, talked with everybody, and thank goodness, you know, it wasn't like everybody just talking about that and speculating and guessing and gossiping. And luckily, we didn't talk about it. We all knew that we knew about it, you know, but we didn't talk about it. We just hung together and talked about different stuff. And yeah, and then I came back up here to make my video. The reason, so yeah, so I'm struggling through that, but I feel strong as far as determination, like I spoke about yesterday. Yeah, so my determination is super high. I told that story about my friend because, again, it's something very emotional for me. So I'm happy that I purged everything this weekend because it would be a huge struggle today to not give in to my emotions and not eat. Common sense tells you if I really wanted to, I would get my purse and get in my car and, you know, do some damage. But I know me, I won't do that. I mean, it has to be really, really, really bad for me to grab my purse, get in my car, and go, you know, get some bad stuff to eat my feelings away with. So I wouldn't do that. But if the food was already here, then yeah, there would be a struggle to not do it. Because I eat with my emotions. But thank God I purged this weekend and there's nothing here to give in to. So that's a good thing. I know yesterday I talked about real quickly because things started happening here about me changing my shoes and going to the minimalistic shoes. And the main reason I'm doing that, well, number one, Cole says they're the best for you. And number two, like I'm just grasping at straws. My poor feet are getting beat up. And I don't know, I keep going to that walking group in Facebook that I'm in and asking them what the hell, what am I doing wrong? You know, I get all this advice and then I follow it and, you know, do this, don't do that, get this shoe, don't wear this kind of shoe. You know, like when you put your shoe on, lace it this way, you know. Oh, Lordy. And I've really, I mean, because it's been going on a while, you know, like I've been, you know, walking in the mornings for 2 years, probably a little more than 2 years. And my feet are just getting beat up, so I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I don't know if it's, but I've tried everything that people tell me to try, so I'm trying to correct it, but just nothing's working. I've worn super expensive shoes. I've worn the ones I'm wearing now from Walmart. Tried different lacing them up different, you know, and just nothing. Whether it's the cheap Walmart ones or the expensive ones that I fucking wasted my money, I'm still having the same issues. So it's hard for me to say, oh, well, that's happening because I'm wearing Walmart shoes. No, it happened when I wore the expensive shoes too, so I don't know, my feet are getting beat up. I'm like, and I don't, I need to go back to that walking group on Facebook and ask them again, because I never asked. Listen, if you're a runner or a walker, because I now have what they call runner's toe, and it's my third case of runner's toe. So I don't know if like you're a runner or a walker, that's just comes with the territory and just something you have to put up with. And that's what I'm going to ask that group, like it's just something, if I continue to walk, that I'm going to just have to deal with, getting runner's toe. If you don't know what runner's toe is, it's, if you look at the toe, it looks like underneath the nail on the nail bed, it's all black, bruised. It's a bruise on the nail bed, not on the nail, but on the nail bed, and it jacks that toe up. Like, it's not super painful, but it just looks bruised, and then as the bruise starts to heal and the toe, the toenail starts to grow out, that's how it heals, because as your toenail grows out, I guess the bruise is under there healing, and then it does, just like any bruise, it changes color, it goes from purple to lighter, and and then it jacks up your toenail until it all grows out. Your toenail gets all jacked up looking. I'm acting stupid about it because, that's a little trivia about me. I'm very picky about my feet, so always have been. I mean, it's not the most attractive part of the body, so you got to kind of take good care of them, or that's what I've always thought. So I've always taken good care of my feet, and I'm very picky about them, and I like them to stay. But I don't know if that's going to be possible, as long as I'm going to be a walker or whatever, because, other than getting runner's toe, like, I guess your toes rubbing your shoe or whatever, so they get callousy, and is that a word, callousy? And you get calluses on the bottom of your foot, so I'm don't really have it in my budget to get a lot of pedicures. I wish, because that would probably keep it under good control, but I do my own. When I end this video, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing my own little pedicures. I'm going to try to keep it under control the best I can, because I don't want my feet just to be big giant calluses with runner's toe. So I'm looking for shoes that maybe I cannot get runner's toe, or that are more gentle. But I don't know why. I don't know. I have to ask that group why my feet are getting so jacked up. And if it's just comes with the territory of being a runner or a walker, then I guess it is what it is, and I'll just have to always be working on my feet to try to keep it all under control the best I can. The runner's toe, I don't know why that's happening, and there's nothing I can do about it. I can't twinkle my nose and make it go away, but I just wish I knew what I was doing or not doing, that I keep getting runner's toe. Oh God, okay. Now I'm babbling. Yeah, so I think that's it. Like I say, I'm gonna start thinking of ideas for my channel. I even was thinking, should I change the name of my channel? Because I don't know, especially if I'm gonna go off and start experimenting on other things. I hate to, I don't know. You know me, I think of stupid stuff. Like, am I misrepresenting snake diet? If I'm technically not hardcore snake diet, if I go off on my own and start, like, instead of doing snake juice, I'm doing bone broth, I don't think that would be fair to the snake diet brand, because that's not snake diet, right? So I've been playing with that idea too, to maybe change the name of my channel. You know, I hate to do that because, you know, because Snake Diet Deb is a little bit of a brand in itself, right? You know, so, and it's not like I have hundreds of thousands of subscribers. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. You know, I just don't want to start going off on different paths and trying. Oh, I shouldn't like cover my face like that. I'm out of it today. But yeah, so I just don't want to be doing things, you know, experimenting on my own, and it's off the path of the snake diet, and here I am calling myself Snake Diet Deb. So I'll think on that and see if I want to change it. And hope that somehow in changing it, you know, if I just change it to fasting focused life, I don't know, I would even have to think on the name of a new, I would even have to think of a new name that, you know, would have to do with fasting focused lifestyle, because that part's never going to change. So that's what I was thinking, like maybe that needs to be in my new channel name. But of course I want it to be a little bit more personal, more creative than fasting focused lifestyle channel or whatever, you know. So I'll have to think on that, if I'm going to change it, and if I am, what would I name it? And if you're watching this and you have any suggestions, leave them in the comment box. Alright, you guys, I've talked enough, and I made another long video, but that's okay. So I don't know when I'll be back. Today's Friday. I'm supposed to refeed Sunday. I don't know that I'll refeed Sunday, just because I hate refeeding on a non-workout day. But I might refeed. Or I might wait till Monday. Because when I refeed and I'm working out that day, I don't stress out about refeeding, because I know I'm going to work out and I'm keeping my calories low, so my workout's going to scrub any calories I eat on my refeed. So I like refeeding on workout days. But we'll see. It's always something with me. Alright, you guys, I'm going to get out of here. And you guys keep fasting, stay strong, hang tough. And I will see you when I see you. Mahalo.